Hello again. Today I am back with chapters 5 and 6 of The Eye of the World. And these chapters are a little different, uh, rather than just like kind of an information dump, which is how I felt about the first four chapters. Um, in this chapter, we start to see the story kind of progress a little bit, in my opinion. Um, so we leave the village that Rand is in, and we see him and Tam, his father, go back to their little farmstead, and we get to see a little bit about what their life is like. And it's interesting after, they do all their chores and they get home. Tam does some things that are really out of character according to Rand. He locks the doors, and which apparently nobody in this little hamlet does ever. There's no need to ever lock doors. So that really stands out. Then he goes upstairs and brings down a sword. And he makes this joke about how, he bought it for, a couple coppers and that was too much money to have spent on it. Um, and Rand's mother wasn't happy about it, but he kept it all these years anyways. And as I was reading that, I kind of was like, that seems weird. I don't think I fully believe this story. And my first thought was, I wonder if Tam was like some sort of soldier at some point, and this is like his sword from that time in his life, and he's just hidden it away. So it's made me a little more interested in his backstory as well, because I feel like there's definitely more going on than we know about. So he keeps the sword, and shortly thereafter, their house is attacked. Like it may even be the next page, um, is attacked by Trollocs. And so these are these like really ugly, massive creatures of the night, it seems like. Um, and they just like swarm Tam and Rand's farmstead. And so Rand runs to the barn, Tam stays, he gets hurt. Rand comes back and, kind of sees to his wounds the best he can. And I think that takes us to chapter 6, in which Rand decides that he needs to get Tam to the village, to get help from Nynaeve. I think I'm saying that right now. I have looked up a pronunciation guide to the Wheel of Time characters, and I'm hoping that I don't mispronounce anything horribly wrong. So he wants to get Tam to Nynaeve so she can heal him. And this chapter really deals with kind of like Rand's journey to the village. Uh, and I think, in my opinion, only a few things that are really important happen. One being that Rand sees the Black Rider again, this time um, kind of among a group of Trollocs, and he avoids interaction with both of those things, which is good. Oh, Rand also kills a Trolloc, I think. Um, I think either in this chapter or the chapter before, I can't remember, when he goes back to the house to like gather supplies. And that seems significant in some way. So thought I would mention it. He kills it with the sword. Also, the sword is really sharp. He is able to cut like it's able to cut like an axe, which is interesting. So I think there's also more to this sword than meets the eye. So, anyways, he's taking Tam to the village, and they're having this really harrowing journey at night. And he expects everything to be better when he gets to the village, and which makes me feel like there probably is going to be some sort of disaster at the village, but we'll see. And I think the most important thing about this chapter is that at the end, Tam, in his like fever-ridden, wounded state, uh, drops this little line about how he, I think think he's like in a battle maybe, and he drops this line about how this woman had a child and he brought it home because he knew that his wife wanted children and that Rand is a good name, a good name. And all of a sudden, Rand is like, what the heck? Is Tam not my father? No, he's definitely my father. He's just talking out of his mind because he's delirious from this fever. Um, but to me, it's really interesting because throughout the like few chapters that I've read so far, I have felt like Rand has been othered um, in many ways. But especially like two or three times, I feel like the color of his eyes have been mentioned and how they differ from everybody else in the community. But it's been pointed out like, oh well, his mother had lighter eyes, but his mother is also conveniently dead, so it's not like anyone's around to corroborate that or to say, hey, actually, no, your mom didn't have light eyes. So I think that's just been like a convenient out. Um, so it's interesting to me now that we find out that he is not Tam's son. And so that to me kind of explains why he's being othered so far. So now I'm like, who is this guy? I want to know. And really, now for the first time, I want to kind of keep reading. Um, that's the first time I have felt this way so far with this book. So I'm happy that I feel a little kick to keep reading, so to speak. So yeah, next time will be chapters 7 and 8, and I'm excited to keep reading along. Let me know your thoughts on these chapters down below. Thanks. Bye bye.